All right, guys, we have a pretty fun Seiko to check out today. This is the Seiko SNJ037, and it has a new movement in it to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the 1982 hybrid analog digital release that Seiko did back in the day in 1982. So yeah, it's like a reissue, right? It's so cool that Seiko has the ability to just like look back 40 years and be like, let's make this watch again. This is really cool. Now they obviously changed everything about it. It just looks similar. One of the big changes is the original one. It was the digital display was actually up top. So kind of like flip-flop that over. Other than that, I mean, it was really similar. I'm sure the size was different, but it was really similar. So on this guy here, we're using the solar quartz movement now. So we added solar versus the 1982 version. And this movement, or module, or whatever you want to call it, is the H855. So they did a pretty dang good job with it. There's specs out there if you want to look those up. Here's the hang tag, SNJ037, retail price $725, movement H555. Actually, when I looked up online, Seiko said $730, but this is from Exquisite Timepieces, so I'm sure they will honor that $725, which maybe is an old price. So again, big thanks to the entire crew and Tyler for sending these over from Exquisite Timepieces. Link in the description. They are authorized dealers for over 60 brands, Seiko being one of the larger ones, and they have the entire lineup. In case you didn't know, Seiko authorized dealers have tiers, and they have to like kind of unlock them. There's certain criteria that get them access to the entire lineup. Well, Exquisite obviously has the entire lineup, as well as Grand Seiko. So on this guy here, let's talk about dimensions, and then I want to show you something that kind of surprised me. I thought it was really cool. But this is a tuna style case, so don't get freaked out at the 47 millimeter wide case. It's not going to wear like a 47. The lug to lug is a 50.7. The thickness is 14.3. Actually, as I'm rambling these dimensions off, it is a chunky watch, but you'll see when I put it on my wrist, it doesn't, it's deceiving. 22 millimeter lug width, has a nice bracelet here. It does taper down to 20, and you have the fully stamped clasp on this guy. This is also a limited edition, like I said, because it's an anniversary limited edition. There's 4,000 of these, and it does have a hard Lex crystal. I don't really have a problem with that. 120 click bezel, shrouded case. So your access points to operate the bezel are here and here. That's how you access the turn. You can see that the seconds hand actually hits the marks. Very good. Now, this isn't a tutorial, so if you've watched this long and you were expecting a tutorial on how to use this, because it actually does do dive functions and stuff, you can go. I'm not going to do it. Some of the things are intuitive, some of them aren't, but I'm not going to do a tutorial on it. So here's the one thing I thought was pretty cool. So you have a screw down crown, 200 meter water resist. But these things are pushers, right? These are to operate the module. But they screw out, so you can't push them in, compromising the water resistance. So what you have to do is you have to screw these in to be able to operate them. And when you screw them in, you reveal a little pop of color. So you have red up here, blue down here. This one's blue because this is all your dive functions. And then this one over here, you also screw in, that's red as well. And that is how you cycle through your modes on the analog part. All the time adjustment is going to be done through the crown. So on this guy here, if you look at the digital display, it's just displaying what is shown analog. It's a mirror image of it. But if you cycle through it, you can have it sit on that display. It would be Thursday the 24th. Or you can cycle through, I'm not sure what that is, to be honest with you. I think it might just be a second time zone. And then you have your dive logs, and then you have a stopwatch. Well, the stopwatch, it took me a minute to figure it out, because you think standard chronograph, start, stop, reset, right? That's not how it works. So you start, if you hit this, it's just going to go in the dive function. I'll show you. See, and you hold it down to do the dive. It doesn't do anything for the chronograph. You stop it, and now if you want to reset it, you hold that down, and it just resets it. That's it. That's as much tutorial as you're going to get. But what I thought was really cool was the color reveal when you screw those in. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, oh, it also has alarms too. I would probably wear it in this condition because I love the pop of color on there. Yes, I know. Well, I mean, technically your water resistance isn't compromised. It's only going to be compromised if you utilize the pushers. Then you potentially could have water come in. So even if you were to accidentally get this wet in this condition, as long as you don't operate those, you're still going to be fine. You'll have no problems. So this is how I would wear it because I like to see the color. But that's just me. Let's zoom back out. Let's pop this on my 7 1/4 inch wrist so you can see that it actually does wear really good. I believe there's some other colorways. There must be other colorways for this thing as well. Now, if you're worried about it being on the larger side of things, then yeah, go with a black version like this. And the black watches will appear or present smaller on wrist than, say, the stainless steel variant. I mean, they're all stainless steel, but non-coated stainless steel variant. So it's extremely comfortable on wrist. I do like the bracelet. I could see this on like an FKM rubber as well. It would be equally as comfortable, but the bracelet probably is going to help balance it out. Now let's do UV light, kill the studio lights, and check the lume on this Seiko. There we go. Plenty of lume as well. I don't think that, I don't think there's any backlight on that. I could be wrong, but I don't see how it would happen. So there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. And again, big thanks to Exquisite Timepieces. Link in the description.